Hi guys, welcome back to LTF1. We have Raj with us today. You may have forgotten him because he's not featured in a video for how long?
If you could forget me, that is the better point.
Oh, they could definitely forget you. So Raj and his shit takes are back today for the France Grand Prix weekend preview. Raj, anything to say to the viewers now that you're back?
Yes, content will be a lot better now, and preparation is key, as we have found over the past couple of weeks, with these two being a bit off the cusp and not very good. But now the seminal driver for analysis is back. We will continue to provide excellent content.
Well, you heard it from Raj first. Let's see if he is in any of the videos coming up. You here on Sunday for the race review?
Potentially not. But
Didn't think so.
I'll move a few things around to try and get there. Of course, if not, I'm sure the viewers will miss me. But
I'm sure they will.
What can you do?
Well, that's enough bullshit before the video. Let's just get straight into it. Mercedes had a difficult weekend last weekend, and they had a difficult weekend the week before that. So a lot of people are looking forward to seeing whether they can pull it back or whether Red Bull's just going to run away with the season. What are your thoughts?
Well, after last time, so the two leaders of the championship didn't actually score any points, it'll be interesting to see the response. And I feel like even after last year, even though it was a boring Grand Prix, I feel like we could get an exciting one this time, because both of them have now, where they've both lost points. Hamilton could have potentially narrowed the gap and extended it towards Verstappen, but I feel like now he has a driver in him where he can go for it and actually get those extra points, because he lost out in Baku, and the French Grand Prix could be the opportunity where we see one of them actually take the bull by the horns and go for the championship full on. But we shall see.
Yeah, if Mercedes can't get it back this weekend, it's going to be a very long season for them. They're traditionally good around this track. It should suit them. It's traditional. But if Red Bull are still on it, then it's going to be very, very difficult for them to see this championship out. Speaking of the championship, Perez on top of the car. He said, "Judge me after 5 races," and he won the 5th one, or the 6th one. Championship contender?
I do feel like he's maturing. I think he's maturing into the position. I don't think he's a championship contender. I don't think that he'll have the longevity or consistency.
You don't think Perez was already mature, being one of the older drivers on the grid?
Matured into the car. That's a key difference. So he has not been in the Red Bull before this season, obviously, as we know. So maturing into the car is a big process. Obviously, even people like Verstappen took time to mature into the car. It does take time. You've got to go with it and see how it takes you. And you know what? He's coming good now. And for the rest of the season, we may see some people on top game, especially with sort of Hamilton and Verstappen losing points. If they lose points, I feel like Bottas is out of it, and Perez is the third driver who's most likely to win races if those two do not perform. But I do feel like Perez has that opportunity, maybe to definitely retain that second seat at Red Bull, because I feel like there's not much contention there from others, but also because at the end of the day, he is better than Albon, and Albon, as good a driver as he didn't really challenge Verstappen that much, whereas I feel Perez this year could challenge him, not potentially for the championship, but just as a driver in general.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that Perez actually attributed the win to Albon, saying the work that he did over the past year and whatnot, and the work that he's done in the simulator is what got them to the point that they are at now. And I do feel like it was a little bit of that. Albon got a really bad draw of it with the car. Maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't, probably not. But we'll just have to see. You're looking forward to the French Grand Prix?
I feel it'll be a good race because they're both going to be on top of their game after the problems that they had in Baku. Verstappen may be a bit, I feel like he'll be a bit angrier than Hamilton was. Hamilton, it was a personal mistake, but Verstappen, it was sort of the tyres. So it was a bit out of his control, I would say. But Hamilton was completely in control of it. So Hamilton knows what he's got to do, whereas Verstappen sort of angry at all the tyres. Why did they fail him and stuff like this? So I feel like both of them have their different motives for the race. But I feel like, yeah, it all comes down to looking at like it's a good race. And I think Hamilton will just pip it. But I do feel like Verstappen will give him a good run for his money.
And plus, further down the field, Aston Martin, McLaren, Ferrari, even AlphaTauri, all proving that they can compete on their day. So it's going to be a tight race, and that's one thing we have over the last French Grand Prix that we went to. What was it, 2019? The field was a bit more spread out then. Now it's a lot tighter, and we should get some good racing.
Especially Vettel after his podium in Baku. I feel he's got a newfound motivation in him, a new fire that he can still do it, and he can still race at the top level. And he did prove it in Baku, even though there was mistakes obviously around him. But you have to be in a position to take advantage of those mistakes and show your class in essence. And Perez may have taken the race victory, but as we saw, Seb was still humble in I'd say defeat, even though he came second, but he was still.
Carry on.
So Seb was pretty humble in defeat, as we heard from his team radio, and
I don't think he took it as a defeat as such. Yeah, he'd have been happy with second. Come on.
It is a victory for the team, but I feel where Seb was in his position, 4-time world champion, he's used to being on that top podium. But we did see that, yeah, he did congratulate Checo on his victory, and yeah, I feel like he could be one to watch if Aston Martin can keep that consistency.
Well, if he's your one to watch, then what's your podium? What's your podium for this weekend? Let's get a prediction.
I think Hamilton wins. I'd go Verstappen second, and so Perez third. So I think pretty status quo, but yeah.
Status quo. Bottas, nowhere with all the rumours and the speculation, he's just not going to come through?
After our last video, I think it is time for Bottas to relinquish his position. Even if Mercedes may not get rid of him or will do, that's their choice. I think he should just relinquish it. He should just vacate the position, go off into the sunset and live a happy life.
Yeah, well, there's one driver we're definitely never going to be able to get on the channel because we've bashed him so much. And we got bashed in the comments as well for saying that you guys hate Bottas. And it's not like that. You don't hate any driver. You just really don't like watching him race.
I will say one thing about Bottas. So back a few years ago, it was him and Massa at Williams, and Bottas and Massa. That was one of the best teammate rivalries I remember. That was a very good team rivalry.
They were driving the wheels off that. They were driving the wheels off that Williams.
Bottas was on top form then, so I see why they did give him that Mercedes seat. He wasn't really a young prospect, but he was able to perform at the top level, and he did so in that Williams. But as soon as he got into the Mercedes, it feels like he was sort of in awe of Hamilton, and he was just overshadowed by him.
Yeah, once he accepted the second driver role for one season, you're never going to be able to climb out of that hole.
But he could have. I feel like if he raced as he did with Massa and raced as so vigorously as he did, and he has a faster car and a Mercedes as well, but he just feels a bit scared to be there and scared to put his, I don't know, sort of his position's on the line as it is. So why wouldn't he go out and do? He says that he's doing as much as he can, but either he's just dipped in form for the past few years, amazingly, he's had that bad form, or he just didn't have it and he was winging it at Williams. I don't know. It's just.
So we'll end the video there with the obligatory Bottas bashing, and you can reply to the comments that are definitely going to be coming in for that. But we'll see everyone after the race on Sunday. Raj won't be here because he'll be working. But yeah, thank you for watching. You know what our socials are. Subscribe to the channel. That's all from us.
Bye.
Leaving that noise in.